I just got back from the antique store and I hit the jackpot. Hot pads, handkerchiefs, old grandma stuff. I bet I can make some curtains out of these. Hello, my crafty dolls. Welcome to my craft room. I am Grandma Katie. I am so glad you're here. Today we're talking about antiquing and thrifting. So I want to teach you some of the things that I look out for when I'm at the antique store or when I'm thrifting. Because you guys, there are so many things you can use in your dollhouse. Simple things. Handkerchiefs. We have handkerchiefs. And guys, they don't make stuff like this anymore. The incredible crocheted, I don't know if that's called crocheting, but the hand lacing crocheting, I'm not quite sure what it's called. But guys, I'm going to show you how to incorporate these really cool handkerchiefs in your dollhouse. Hot pads and doilies. Honestly, it's kind of a no-brainer that these make really great rugs for the dollhouse. They come in all shapes and sizes. But I'm going to give you a couple more tips on how to use these little guys, not just for the rugs. And do you guys remember, probably your grandma had these, she probably made them, the fancy pillowcases with the crocheted, again, I don't know if this is called crochet, little trim on the end. I mean, these are so old-fashioned. I know my grandma made these all the time. And they come in all different styles and all different shapes. So I snag these two up. If you ever see these in the store, make sure you grab these. Also, you might want to look in your own closet and your drawers because, you guys, thin sweaters make the best blankets and pillows, but they have to be thin. You don't want a bulky sweater. So like a summer sweater, a little spring sweater, a baby sweater, they're real thin and, they drape really well. So that's what you want to look out for. So I'm going to go through all of these. I'm going to give you a little tour of my dollhouse and show you where I use these items and how I use them, how I cut them up, all the fun stuff. So stick around and we'll have fun. Okay, first I want to show you my favorite find at the antique store, and that is these old-fashioned pillowcases. Maybe your grandma has some of these. I know my grandma made these, and it's the old crochet trim. I'm not sure if it's called crochet, not sure, but we're going to call it crochet. And it's the trim on the fancy trim on the pillowcase. And I bought two of them, and they were only $4 a piece. So I got two pillowcases for $8. One has this really pretty triangle trim on it, and then the other one had this flat trim. And all I did is I took my fancy little stitcher remover. You probably have one of these in your sewing box, and you remove the stitches. You don't want to cut anything. You're going to have less fraying. We're all going to be cutting the edge. You don't want to be cutting on the top too. So just go around and painstakingly take it all off. And they make the best curtains for the dollhouse. They even have the built-in little pocket for your rod, for the curtain rod. No sew. It's absolutely no sewing. And these are going to go on the inside of the window frame. Okay, here you can see my curtains in one of the bedrooms. I use that really pretty scalloped edge, and you can see that the curtains are in the window frame. So they hang really nice. I measured so the tip of that scallop would come right down the middle of the window. They look nice because they hang really nice. Almost look like a shade. They look so pretty. Is the other curtain I used. So this was the more square one, again on the inside of the window frame. Handkerchiefs. I'm always on the lookout for handkerchiefs at the antique store or the thrift store. I got this pack of handkerchiefs here for a few dollars. I mean, the detail is just beautiful. They have these beautiful little edges. I mean, it can really do a lot with these. But that one has a little embroidery on it. I just love the dainty detail on there. This one came with one that says World's Fair 1930. I thought that was pretty cool. I think the World's Fair was in Chicago that year. So really cool. I love old stuff. What's great about handkerchiefs is that they're so thin. And if you're making any curtains for your dollhouse, they're going to hang really, really nice. And they're going to have that really pretty trim on the edge. How cool would that be? I like using the handkerchiefs to make bed sheets. And I basically just use the edge as the decorative lace on the top sheet. Fold it over. And that gives you some texture to your bed and some layering. Really makes it look homey. Item that I'm always looking at in the thrift store are really thin sweaters. And these you might already have in your closet that you don't wear anymore. The thinner the better. You're going to get that really nice woven look, but without the stiffness or the bulk. So when you cut these out, they're going to make really pretty blankets. And honestly, guys, you don't even have to clean up the edges or anything. Just what I like to do is find the edge of the sweater and cut that. So that'll be the edge of your blanket. There's the edge of the blanket, and then just fold in that rough edge. And you have a perfect blanket. No one's gonna know. I have a really pretty purple one here. It's super thin. I mean, this one's almost see-through. So I'm gonna make a blanket from this. It's really good to you can use the cuff because it has a really nice finish edge on it. The cuffs on sweaters are the best blankets. And here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this cuff off, just a white cuff. And what we can do is we can fold it up. All I did was fold it up, kind of like an accordion style, and I tied it with a bow. And this is going to look really cute on top of an armoire or maybe in the laundry room, just a stack of blankets. And I did the same thing with this. Guys, you can do anything. You can really, really do anything. Leftover fabric, I did the same thing. You take leftover fabric and you bind them up and you can make little rolls of blankets. Socks. I bet you have mismatch socks. Find one with a really pretty pattern. This one has a pretty sweater pattern. I am just going to cut this out, and that'll be a blanket for the chair or a blanket for the bed. Or you can roll it up and put that right on top of a dresser or the armoire. You can add some texture and some extra detail to your dollhouse. Okay, here we are in the nursery, and I just used a little doily to make a rug for the little kids. I used a handkerchief and some leftover fringe from the pillowcase to make the bed. And then with a sweater, that thin, nice sweater, I made a little blanket for the baby in the cradle. Here is a handkerchief as a curtain. Again, it is in the inside frame of the window. And then and down below you can see I used some old sweaters and some sweater cuffs to make a stack of blankets. Very easy. And here we are back in the bedroom. We have some old sweater cuffs that are rolled up for blankets, an old sweater, and some old fabric rolled up. So that gives it a really cute look in the bedroom. On the bed, I used the extra scrap from the pillowcase to make an afghan. And then also with that extra scrap, I made a pillow. And then here you can see the sheet from the handkerchief. That look cute. Over here we have a sweater just draped over the chair. And again, those sweaters are thin, so they're going to drape really nice. They won't be so stiff. And of course, doilies and little hot pads make the perfect rugs. But if you find a square one, they make great bedspreads. So here I have one on my bed. It looks like a really cute Afghan. And of course, you can see my handkerchief sheet there. Square doilies make the best Afghans for the bed. I'm going to tuck that in. There we go. I have a doily for a rug. I have one in the back, a little round one. My curtains. It just makes it look so homey. And here we have the sweater on the bed as a blanket, and I just hid that rough edge. I just folded that over. Shh, don't tell anybody. But wouldn't you want to just crawl into bed and read a book in that cozy little bed? Here is the sock. I draped that over the chair. Looks like a wool blanket over there. All right, here is that sock. And I just cut it to make a blanket. It almost looks like a wool blanket on there. Looks so cute. And underneath it, I have the sweater cuff. So that is just the cuff I cut off. I laid it on the bed. It looks just like a cute little blanket. Maybe even make a pillow from it. So endless possibilities with a sweater. Okay, with my thin sweater, I made a simple rug for the kitchen, simple throw rug. And then my leftover scrap from my fancy pillowcase, I made a towel. In the living room, again, I have my square doily here. That makes a great rug. I have a little small doily, and that is going to be the Afghan for my couch. And of course, with the leftover scrap from the pillowcase, I made a doily. I'm using doilies. I had better have a doily in my house. All right, my crafty dolls, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you learned something today and what to look out for at the antique store or the thrift store, even your own closet. You never know what you're going to find for your dollhouse. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, share this video, leave me a little comment. Maybe you have made something from a sweater or a doily that I didn't mention. Give me more ideas. And if you don't know what to say, just leave me a yellow heart. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.